The one-legged church, the prophetic leg. Again, it's a goal of mine that we gather wisdom from this analysis, from these stories of my experiences throughout the church. Not that we point any fingers, not that we criticize any person or group of God's people. And I should state that while I've been physically present in all these places, there's times I've been a leader, times I've been not a leader. Things here that have happened in the last 10 years, things that happened decades ago. So, I mean, if you know me already, you've already figured out which churches I'm talking about. If not, it's not useful. I'm not throwing names around. That's not the purpose of this. This church that I've experienced that had a one-legged prophetic influence, aspect, focus, had a strong sense that everything that's spoken should be prophetic. And so the preaching style that was favored was very unstructured, very extemporaneous, with the cultural expectation that that's what prophetic looks like. I'm not taking any sides on that topic, merely that that was their intention. There was, for a time, an apostolic relationship because of apostolic leaders that used to come and equip them, and a sense of shepherding or community because of there being lots of meetings in people's homes that were not expressly ritual, not expressly didactic. There were real, we're sitting down and eating conversations, whether or not those turned religious or not, I don't know, but there was an intent to have a sense of community that was not directly linked to this meeting where someone preaches, this meeting where someone leads worship. Now, because of that, there were some very strong weaknesses that came with that focus. If you have that single-minded prophetic focus, without a strong fivefold balance from a real spiritual attitude of balance, prophecy and teaching find themselves at each other's throats. That's not God's way, but they often do. And it has to do with the Petersonian definition of truth. I'm not sure if he got this from himself, but I got this from Peterson. So I don't know him. I listen avidly and I learn things from him. He's a wise man. The prophetic emphasizes mythic truth. Mythic truth is, it has layers. It has degrees of meaning. Propagandic truth is, it only means one thing every time. Now, I don't think that there's anything spiritual that is always one of those things. But I do think that, from the teaching perspective, anything that fivefold teacher's perspective, anything that sounds mythic or spacey sounds like it is diverting from straightforward teaching. And from the prophetic perspective, anything that sounds dogmatic and propagandic is moving away from the Holy Spirit. Now, that's as false a dichotomy as faith versus science. That's as false a dichotomy as left versus right. But as a result, this church had no official statement of faith. This church had no, it may have one now, it had no official theology. Shocking, I know. We're a church, and we teach things. We have no written down where we agree upon what we believe in, because of what a prophetic only emphasis does to teaching. And then secondly, there was no evangelism unless you wanted to go out and partner with people from other churches. I think that maybe in the prophetic only perspective was an implied Calvinist bias that, well, God's going to bring people, that he wants anyway. And if they don't come here anyway, then they're going to, you know, if God doesn't call them, they must be destined for hell. Maybe they didn't say that, but that was perhaps an explanation that goes with a basically zero evangelism church for the time that I was there. So, in this case, a prophetic gifts being central to the exclusion of other things created openings for apostolic connection and for shepherding community, but really closed the door to teaching and to evangelism in this example. So if I have blessed or encouraged you, please like and subscribe.